Hello ladies and gentlemen, Gabester here. We are back with some more Hearthstone arena action. And today we're going to be playing Shaman, as I don't have many Shaman runs available. Current update on my arena stats, I'm at 74.44% win rate across 2,308 arena runs, or games rather, sorry. And for Shaman I'm at 70.23% with 215 games. So Shaman's a fair bit below my average. It's an interesting class, though. And as always, you can check out those stats in the link in the description and make a copy of our spreadsheet and all that stuff. All right, so first up, we have a rare pick here. Pint Size is the weakest of these by far. Her stats are fairly low. So unless you can make really good use of her spell text and keep her alive, she's not very good. Violet Teacher and Imp Master are both really strong, and just depends on what you feel you need more. Imp Master's strong in a deck with a lot of buffs, so for potential combinations for a Shaman, for example, Flame Tongue Totem with a lot of weak minions is really good. And then Violet Teachers, of course, if you have a lot of spells. So since this is the first pick, I'm going to lean towards Imp Master over the Violet Teacher. Alright, all of these are quite bad, but I think Nightblade is the least bad of them. Archmage is the weakest of these. Inventor is pretty good, since you don't lose card advantage, but I'm going to go Dark Iron. Can be very strong with totems as a buff. Panther's the weakest of these. Rockbiter, is really efficient damage removal. Fork Lightning, much less so. Because you have access to pretty frequent spell damage through totems, the overall mana cost, the total mana cost for this spell is not as important. That's kind of the way you can justify it. Because in total it costs 3 mana to do 4 damage, which is fairly weak compared to other cleave sort of effects like Cleave from Warriors, which is 4 damage for 2 mana. But a lot of times this will be bumped up to 3 damage because of that spell damage. So I think I will lean towards Fork Lightning, having talked myself into it. But they're both good. Alright, Shield Bearer's weak. Spiteful's only really good if you have a weapon, which we don't know we'll get. I'm going to go with Healer here. Slightly weaker stats, but better battle cry, generally speaking. Sunwalker is great. Ancestral Spirit can be very useful, but you already need board control and attack initiative, basically. Chillwind Yeti beats out Fairy Dragon, even though I could use 2s. I think Chillwind's just too good to pass up. Alright, here's some 2s. I'll go with the Brewmaster over the Raptor, in case I need to return something to my hand. Sen'jin versus Farseer. That's a tough one. I think Sen'jin's better. Although I have 2 4s and only 1 3. Yeah, that's a tough one. But I think Sen'jin. Abomination for pseudo board clear. Not bad. Violet Teacher again, but Argent Commander is pretty much an auto pick. Rare. Alright, these are all quite good. Unbound Elemental that uses overload mechanics can be very powerful, but it just depends how much you draft. I always like to pick up the first axe, maybe the first 2 even. They're really efficient for early game control. Ooh, Hex versus Ogre. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I really like the Ogre for the late game, but I think I need to prioritize the hard removals that Shamans get. Because consider, this is the way to think about it. If your opponent plays a minion like an Ogre or something just as strong, Sunwalker or whatever, you can basically counter it for 3 mana. So it costs them double the mana, and you should be able to do something else in the same turn, is the idea. But that's not always the case. Of course, sometimes these are dead cards, but having 1 or 2 is a pretty good idea. Wow. I think all of these cards are shit. There's not a lot of potential for healing here. I don't have that many big minions. Dust Devil just dies too easily and his overload is brutal. So I think I'm going to go Frost Shock and basically have it be a dead card until I have a spell damage totem out. And then I can do 2 damage. It's kind of the plan. Alright, these two are pretty weak, so we'll go Inventor. Fire Elemental is an auto pick card. This is one of the strongest minions in the game outside of legendaries. Incredibly powerful. Basically, dealing 3 damage means you basically kill something when you play it. And then you have a 6/5 minion for 6 mana. It's insane. So basically pick every fire elemental you get and you'll do well. Bomber versus Bloodlust. That's an interesting choice. I like to have 1 Bloodlust, but I don't think I can justify it right now because I don't have very many early game minions. So I'm going to go Bomber. Fire Elemental number 2. These are all really good. I think I have to skip the Ogre because I already have 3 or 4 6s, and they're all really strong. Unbound versus Hex. For overloads, I only have 2, I believe. Yeah, so Unbound's weaker than it could possibly be, and I'm almost a third or 2/3 the way through the deck. So I'm gonna go Hex number 2. 2's a pretty good number. I love Cult Master. I usually pick the first one available if possible. Sergeant Commander number 2 beats out these 2 crap cards. Well, not crap, but just not very good. Crusader's a great 3-drop. Spellbreaker, I think, over Wolf Rider for the silence. Ooh, yikes. Well, unfortunately, Harpy is the best card, but I have so many 6s already. I'm gonna have to go with the 2. The ideal, of course, is that he can trade with a 3/2 minion, but it's not always possible. Alright, I think Harvest Golem over the Brewmaster. 2 drops, I have only 3 of them. But I only have 2 3-drops as well, actually. 2 of those are spells. So yeah, Harvest Golem is just superior. Alright, here I will go Unbound because these 2 are crap. Brewmaster versus Arena. See, on 4 I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Spellbreaker's not always a 4-drop. I swear I had 6 6s. Apparently I only have 5. I think I go Arena because while I have a fair bit of late game, I don't have any 7+s. Oh, well, till now, maybe. Ah, this is going to be tough. Sea Giant is extremely powerful, the strongest giant in arenas. And as a Shaman, I have more minions on average than most other heroes. But it's a lot of high end. I think I go Faceless here. I personally have, well, it depends how they're used. I could potentially copy my own Argent Commanders. I have 2 of those. I have 2 Fire Elementals, which would be fine to copy, and a Sunwalker. And then, generally speaking, you also use Faceless to copy strong minions from the opponent. Mostly I'm doing this because my 5s are weak. I think my late game's strong. Oh my god. Fire Elemental again, I think. Oh yeah, I think they're just too strong to pass up. Alright. Bloodlust versus Berserker. That's a tough one. I only have 3 2-drops. Yeah, I think my early game's too weak. I think I need the Berserker. Last pick. How many spells do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Not very many spells for this. So Ancestral versus Feral. Feral's really good for getting some early game presence on the board. Of course, Ancestral with all my late game would be potentially very strong. But I think I have to go Feral for the early. Alright, well, this deck looks incredibly powerful, I have to say. I mean, just go through these lists. For the most part, everything's really strong. The exception is a Frost Shock, Frostwolf Grunt. All my 3s are good. All my 4s are good. My 5s except Nightblade are good, and my 6s are incredible. Yeah, so the only major stuff I'm missing is board clear, which could be a problem. And I would have liked to grab a single Bloodlust, but I just didn't think there was an opportunity. The first one we saw was not as good at the time, and the second one, I needed the early game. But Bloodlust is not necessary to win, it just sometimes allows you to win earlier than you might have. And a surprise. Okay, game 1 against the Hunter. So the main goal of this deck is to try to survive the early game to reach mid to late game, where we should take control. We have 2 removals from Hex, and a lot of good late game minions. That should give us a lot of 2-for-1s. So I have the coin, so I'll probably drop Hex, keep the 3s and the Axe. So either I Axe to start removing his stuff on 2, or I coin a 3, depending on what he's got.
Greetings, traveler.
Alright, well, that's good for me. It's kind of an interesting choice between the Scarlet and the Imp Master. I guess the 1/1 Imp has a potential to do 1 damage plus the 2 from my Axe, in case he drops something with 3 health. Although, I guess if he does something with 4 health, which is possible on 3, I should go Crusader here. Now that I think about it. Since Animal Companion on 3 for Hunter is pretty common, and if he gets a 2/4 or 4/4.
I wonder.
I wondered if he would deadly shot that. Turns out he would. Alright, well, what are you gonna do? Dropping Bomber is probably going to be a problem for a while. But I have a good 4 play on Dark Iron here, or I can play Axe and Grunt. There's the Animal Companion. Hopefully it's not the charge. Ah, damn it. Well, I guess it's okay. It's 1-for-1. I could Bomber here. But I think it's too risky. I'm just going to trade Bomber after. Excuse me. Play this. He'll probably multi-shot here if he has it. Yeah, I'm going to be coughing quite a bit. I've just had a cough for ages after this flu that's been going around. Harvest Golem is very efficient. And a secret. Interesting. Okay. Well, based on my board, I have to assume that it's explosive trap, which means I have to use these minions for the stuff on board. So I'm going to attack with this first. Okay. I think I'll trade. Actually, I should play first to test for snipe. Everything I have will die to snipe, so if it's explosive as I suspect, this is a good minion to have. Okay, yeah, it's gotta be explosive, I think. So, I think I'm just gonna... well, no, I should trigger explosive. So I almost... well, no, I don't really. I was going to say, I almost hope he plays a big minion that I can copy, but of course, then he'd have a big minion. Oh, there goes my Berserker. Alright. Ah, 1 mana short. Thanks, Overload. I think I just play this. Hate not to buff something, but I don't have anything else that counters that. And if he ignores my dwarf, I can commander next turn. I think Hex might be worth it on that thing. The alternative is that I commander and axe it and take 6, which is kind of brutal.
I wonder.
So I think I totem, Brewmaster the totem, and then Hex.
I wonder. Drink with me, friend. Guide me.
Obviously, it's possible that he can have a much stronger minion than that, but I do have Faceless to at least copy it if he does. It's a strong guy. So he really needs to kill my 4/4 here if he can.
It's time for a little blood. Handle it!
Cheers. Okay, let's see.
That didn't quite.
So Argent kills the 6/4. Cold Master is tempting. But wrong, I think. Argent kills that. Axe kills that. This kills that. This kills that. So I will have a 4/2 Argent and a 4... well, it depends what I choose. 4/1 or 4/2 Dark Iron. And then I guess a totem. I kind of want to heal totems, so I'm gonna not summon a one here. Yeah, good, awesome. So I'll attack with this first, so I take 1 less damage when I kill this with my axe. Okay. Well, he only has 2 cards. I somewhat doubt one of them is explosive shot, but it would be good if he did have it.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Okay. Wow. Here comes a fire elemental value. So, as a hunter, he's pretty much doomed. He could have, what's it called? Unleash the Hounds, but that's not going to kill much. Alright, I have 10, 15 damage. Oh wait, I actually can copy my own charge. Okay. So if I didn't have the ability to lethal in there, obviously I would have traded for 2 and a 1/1 with Cultmaster and drawn a bunch. So he was pretty much screwed. And a lot of that comes down to the weaknesses of my opponent's class, basically. As a hunter without board clear, a lot of the things that would scare me against other opponents just aren't a threat. Alrighty. Game 2 against a Shaman. I'm a Shaman. He's a warrior. Alright, well, axe is really good here, especially without the coin. So I'm going to draw into 2s or 3s if possible. Alright, well, it's a lot of overload, but it does give me early game if I desperately need it.
Greetings.
So I don't want to axe here, since there's nothing to kill immediately. So I'm just going to do a weak totem.
It's time for a little blood.
That's too bad. That's an interesting choice here. I think I feral because next turn on 4 I'll be overloaded 2, so then I can axe. Since this should finish, or I mean, I should say, not finish, but should buff off of the one of the feral spirits. The downside is I will have to take 5 to the face when this becomes enraged. Yeti, holy cow. He didn't attack. That's interesting. Alright, well. Let's see, do I want to do this? I'll have 4 mana next turn.
I wonder.
Yeah, I think so. Otherwise, this is gonna kill something. I probably should have opted to take 5 to the face and kept my dude alive. Yeah, I think that was the wrong play.
Silver moon shall not fall.
Oh, jeez. Dark Iron's a good draw here. I'm gonna take a lot of damage though in my head. But I do have Fire Elemental next turn, which hopefully can turn this pace around a bit. Not quite that much. Alright, that's not bad. So I think I want to get rid of the Divine Shield guy. Down to 18, that's kind of brutal. Okay.
I wonder. Should probably go for the other minion that kills this. Tempted to Frost Shock, but that doesn't really do much for me right now. I can just delay this. That's about it. But both of my minions will die to it anyway. Uh-oh. That's not good. Will he sack his Harvest Golem is the question. No, I guess not. Okay, so I can kill this. This goes down to 1 and then a healer. But this would be at 3, I guess, so it still dies to these 2. Other option is to Frost Shock this thing. Another option is to not heal this and play Sinjin. I think that's pretty good. Wait, I should draw first. There's little time.
So as a warrior, I expect a Cruel Taskmaster or whatever to finish this off. Wall cleave. Alright. Oh, bomber. I think I have to hex this. I could Frost Shock that to spawn the 2/1. And then bomber against everything. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The option is bomber before I hex this.
What to do?
And maybe Frost Shock can kill it. It seems weaker, but I think I'll try it. It's risky. Okay. So let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me try for a spell damage totem. Damn it. Pretty weak. I mean, we're even on cards, but oh god, it's a pretty good. It's a really good draw here, actually. He's an idiot. He took 1 extra damage on his face for no reason. All right, well, there's some okay minions here. It's going to be tough to use Frost Shock effectively, though.
Drink with me, friend. Your magic shall not save me.
The light protects you.
Why you gotta hate on my totem? Sunwalker, great draw.
I wonder.
This one's mine.
Truth is my shield.
See, oh, this isn't. No, he brewmastered this back, so I don't know what that card is. So I get a taunt, I get a 1/1, I get a.
I wonder.
I think Frost Shocking this, and so it doesn't break the shield, is probably decent here. Since 1 damage to break a Divine Shield is about the worst case. Other than silence, of course. Wow. Okay. Let's see. So Cult Master, trade. Fire Elemental is really good, but I'll save it until I need to remove something. He's pretty doomed. Success.